Hey, what's up guys? So I wanted to make this video on the tools that I think you need to start working on your own cars. So if you just moved in your first house and you're looking to get some tools to start working on your car, if you just got your first car and you want to start doing some maintenance on it, a lot of this stuff is what I started with, and a lot of this stuff is just my opinion on what I think you should start with from my experience. But yeah, let's hop into it. So the first thing I recommend you get is a master set. This is the first set I ever had, and it did pretty much everything I needed it to for a long time. So I'm not going to be brand specific here. I know Lowe's does sell a lot of good deals on kits. They have a kit right now that I would recommend. It's $100, and it comes with pretty much all of this. But some key things you want to look for is you want to make sure it has 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch sockets and ratchets. Also, make sure you got at least 3/8 deep sockets. You want standard and metric. Unless you're working on cars pre-1980, you're not going to need the standard. But it's good to have because you're going to want a set of standard anyways. A lot of the fasteners around houses and stuff, they take standard, so it's nice just to have a set. Or if you ever decide to get a classic car, you're going to want a set as well. Want to make sure it comes with Allen keys. If not, you need to get yourself a set of Allen keys. You want to make sure it comes with wrenches. You want to make sure you get this kit didn't come with any, but some extensions. I recommend a 3-inch, a 6-inch, and a 12-inch. You can buy them for pretty cheap at Harbor Freight, just a set of extensions. Also some swivels. Sometimes you're not going to be able to get into some tight spots, and you're going to need some swivels. Also, you can pick these up, a set of them, for pretty cheap. You're going to want some Torx. There's a lot of fasteners that take Torx, a lot of tools that take Torx. So if you need to fix your own tools, you're going to need a set of Torx sockets. So moving on here, the next thing, so all this stuff right here is what I believe when you go to the store on your first trip, this is what you need to pick up if you want to start working on your car. So next, set of screwdrivers, flathead, Phillips, different sizes. Don't get a multi screwdriver at first, because a lot of the times this won't fit down into tight spots like you need it to. Big screwdriver works great as a pry bar. You're going to want to make sure you got a big heavy duty screwdriver, at least a number 1 and number 2 Phillips. Moving on, you want a set of pliers. This is the plier set that I actually bought when I started working on my car. But you're going to want to make sure you have at least a pair of needle nose, slip joint pliers, diagonal cutters, and a pair of channel locks. Those will cover most of everything you're going to need. You're going to want an adjustable wrench. If you want to, I would recommend you get the set of 3. I believe they come with like a 6, 8, and a 12. That's what I bought this with. But if you just want to get one, an 8-inch, you're going to need an adjustable wrench, because sometimes you're going to need a backup on a fastener, and you're only going to have one set of wrenches and one size in each. So you might not be able to get a ratchet and a socket in there, so you're going to need something to hold the back of that fastener with. Wire brush, cleaning battery terminals, cleaning rusty parts. Magnetic pickup tool. Nothing is worse than dropping a fastener down in your engine bay and trying to retrieve it without one of these. You're going to want some lights. I recommend a pen light 100% and some kind of other magnetic light that you can hook up underneath your hood when you're working on something. It's hard to do with a pen light and use tools at the same time. Box cutter. I recommend getting one of these. You're going to need it for pretty much opening up all your new tools when you buy them. But they're only a couple bucks, and I use mine all the time. You're going to need a funnel for topping off the fluids in your car. I mean, pretty self-explanatory there. Next, I recommend a 3/8 breaker bar. The reason I recommend a 3/8 over a 1/2 inch is because the set you get, they usually only come with one set of deep sockets, and they're usually 3/8. If your set comes with a set of deep 1/2 inch, then get the 1/2 inch breaker bar. But I had a 3/8, just a 3/8 for a long time, and it got me by for a very, very long time. So after you get these things, I recommend all these on your first trip to the store. After this, you're going to want to pick up a hammer, a couple hammers. You're going to want at least a 3 or 4 pound hammer for mostly for when you start doing your brakes and stuff on your car. You're going to need this if you have brake drums. But also if the breaker bar is not doing it and you need to give it a little tap, you got a hammer. You want this is a 27 ounce. This is a good size, I believe. You can get the cheap orange ones at Harbor Freight. I recommend doing that. That's what I used for a long time. But if you don't want to beat up a piece of metal too bad and you need to get something loose that is just not coming loose, that's the tool you're going to need. You're going to need a set of pry bars. Say you're removing something and your big flathead's not doing it. You need some more leverage. I recommend picking up a set of pry bars. This was the first set of pry bars I bought. I bought these at Harbor Freight. They come as a set like this for, I don't remember. It's not very much money though. And yeah, you can move a lot of stuff with these. So next on the list, some of you might disagree with me on this, but 3/8 torque wrench. The reason I recommend a 3/8 torque wrench is because you're not really going to know starting out how tight you're going to need fasteners and stuff, especially when you're changing your oil and stuff. And you don't want to over tight or have stuff too loose. It's going to cause issues. So I recommend using a torque wrench until you get the hang of how tight things need to be. But I still use mine all the time, especially for drain plugs on my vehicles. Next, set of jumper cables. The biggest issue I've ever had with my cars is I need to jump. Every car I've ever owned, I think I've needed to jump. So it's good to have a set, even if they're not for you. If you're somewhere, and all the time I've had my neighbors come over, knock on my door, can you give me a jump? And so get yourself a pair of jumper cables. This is a cheap set. I just keep in my truck. So at this point, you're probably ready to start doing some extra maintenance on your car. You want to start doing oil changes in that. So what you're going to need is you need to get yourself a drip pan, changing oil, changing transmission fluid, changing coolant. You're going to want some way to remove your filters. So I recommend this. This is a gear wrench. where it fits pretty much any filter. You can put an extension in it, put it on your ratchet. So now you're gonna want to get yourself a scanner. You get a check engine light on your car. You're gonna want to know what it is. This was only like 20 bucks. This is the one I keep in my truck all the time, just in case I'm out camping or something and I get a code and I want to just see what it is real quick. But this will save you a lot of money. You'll plug it in your OBD2 port. You'll get the code, pull out your smartphone, your laptop, and look up and see what it is. And the internet is a great tool for trying to figure out what your issue is. And there's a lot of people that have had the similar issues you have, and a lot of the answers are there on how to fix it. If you want to change your spark plugs on your car, you're going to need to get yourself a spark plug socket. You're going to need to look in your owner's manual and figure out what size spark plugs your car takes and what size socket you need. You're going to need some jack stands and a jack. I started out with 2 of these small 3-ton huskies, and I had a little tiny husky jack, but for a long time I didn't even have to have a jack or jack stands because I mostly just had trucks, and I was able to slide under, change my oil without having to even lift the car up. But once I got a smaller car and I needed to start doing the oil change and stuff on it, that's when I bought a jack and jack stand. I would recommend, I know you can't see it on the camera, but this is a 3-ton low profile Pittsburgh jack. You can get these on sale for like 120 bucks at Harbor Freight, and they are great. It's low enough to fit under my car, and it lifts up high enough to lift my truck. If you want to do tire rotations and stuff on your car, you're going to need 4 jack stands. I got away with just 2 for a long time. It's not the safest, but you could jack up the front of your car, put 2 in the front, jack up the back of your car, and just leave the jack underneath the back. Would not necessarily recommend doing that, but I did it for a long time and I never had any issues. So also, if your car should come with a toolkit to remove your wheels. If it does not, you're gonna need to pick up a lug nut wrench to remove the lug nuts on your car to get your tires off. You're gonna need to do that if you're gonna do the brakes on your car. Like I said earlier, tire rotation, if you get a flat tire, any of that. But most cars come with a set, or it comes with a lug nut socket and a way to remove your spare tire, however. And they also come with a little tiny bottle jack or scissor jack. Not the safest. They're okay if you're changing the tires on your car, but if you need to actually do some maintenance, make sure you get yourself a good floor jack. So, if you're to this point, you've been working on your car for a while and decide you want to dig a little bit deeper, start doing some electrical stuff on your car, you're going to want to get yourself a multimeter. I went a long time with just a cheap Klein multimeter. This is a Fluke, but you can get a multimeter for 20 bucks and it'll do exactly the same thing that this one does. But for checking voltage, if you don't know if your battery's dead or not, you're having issues starting your car, you can check your battery voltage, you can check fuses, you can do a lot of stuff with a multimeter. You're going to need ways to cut and splice and crimp wires. So this is this does both. It has wire strippers and crimpers on it. This is similar to the set that I started with. I still have the set that I started with. I just keep them in my bag at work now, but they look exactly like this. They were just the channel lock brand. If you want to do electrical on the inside of your car, you're going to need some ways to remove panels and stuff. This is a little panel removal set that I bought on Amazon. It's plastic, so it won't mar. You don't want to use a metal screwdriver or metal pry bar. You're going to want something plastic to remove the clips and the panels on your car. And you can get these for cheap. I think I paid $15 for this set on Amazon. So these next things I don't think are necessities, but they're nice to have. A mini air pump. This air pump I keep in my truck. I did not say you 100% need an air pump. Most gas stations you can go to and get air for free. So if you need to put air in your tires, you can always just go to a gas station. If you get a flat tire on your car, you have the tools to put your spare tire on until you can get to a gas station, fill up your tire, or take it to a shop to get fixed. It is nice to have. If you have the money, I do recommend getting one because it's convenient. Tire pressure gauge. You want to make sure you're putting the correct amount of pressure in your tires. This one has a readout. My pump does have a readout, but a lot of them don't. So you're going to want to make sure you're not overinflating or not inflating your tires enough. Set of picks. You can get literally a set of picks at Harbor Freight. This is the Harbor Freight set for $2. I didn't say you 100% need this set because you can get away with using your little screwdrivers for a while. But if you are changing out O-rings and stuff or drop something down in a tight spot, picks are handy to have. And really they're only a couple bucks, so just pick yourself up a set. An inspection mirror. Sometimes you're not going to be able to get down and see leaks and stuff. So pick yourself up an inspection mirror. It's nice to have. Like I said, you don't really need it. Magnetic tray. You're going to need a magnetic tray to put your screws and stuff in when you're working under your hood. You don't want to set them on top of an airbox or on top of the engine and they fall down in the engine. You want somewhere where they're going to stay and you're not going to lose them. Next is consumables. This is stuff that you're gonna need that I think everybody should just have. Safety glasses. If you're working under your car, there's gonna be dirt, there's gonna be rocks, rust falling in your face. You're gonna want a pair of safety glasses. Zip ties. Those plastic wire things that hold the wire loom, they break all the time. You don't want your wires sagging, rubbing up against something, touching a hot surface. You're gonna want to zip tie them up. Gloves, you're gonna want some gloves. You don't want to be changing your oil with your bare hands. You don't want to have that grease and stuff on your hands. It's not good for you, that petroleum based. You want to protect your hands. WD-40. You're having a hard time getting fasteners out. It's not penetrating oil, but it does work for that. Wiping down your tools after I wipe down all my metal tools with WD-40 when I'm done using them. Brake cleaner. If you're doing the brakes on your car, you're going to want to spray your pads down with this afterwards. Cleaning parts. If you need to clean a part, brake clean works great for that. Shop towels. Yes, you can use paper towels. These are much more heavy duty. They're only a couple bucks. and I use them all the time. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys. I'm going to do a second part of this video for the stuff that I recommend after you buy all this. This will get you by for a very long time. This is basically what I had for years and years before I moved to my house and I bought bigger and better tools. But when I was living in an apartment, these were the tools I had, and I was able to do all the maintenance on my car. Like I said, I'm going to make a second video, and I'm going to show you guys the stuff that I believe you should get after you buy all this, and some more brand specific tools I recommend. You don't have to buy these exact brands I'm showing here. A lot of this stuff, they probably don't even, some of the stuff I know they don't even make anymore. Like this Craftsman set, and so it doesn't have to be brand specific. Just make sure you have these tools. There's probably stuff that I'm missing. People are probably going to disagree with some of this, but this worked for me, and hopefully it'll work for you. And if you guys got any questions, leave them down in the comments, and hopefully I'll have that other video out next week on what you should get next. Thanks for watching.